Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome back to the indie-built Airbus A350. Today we're going to fly from Munich to Seoul for a 10-hour flight throughout the night, departing Munich at about 4 PM and landing at 8 AM in Seoul. Before we start, a quick message from today's sponsor, and then we can get straight into it. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that can not just do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things such as traffic simulation, VFR, data link, and even a cabin crew simulation, then look no further than Say Intentions AI. We'll be using them throughout today's flight, so if you like what you're about to see, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get inside our A350. Now, beautiful little airplane, isn't it? The flight deck just looks so amazing. I really like it. Now, before we get started, let's actually go ahead and check our flight plan, and we are going to do that right through the SimBrief files. So let's go ahead and have a look. We're departing Munich, and then we are flying southwest Ukraine, south of Russia, through eventually China, and then all the way down to South Korea. The weather is very good on the first part of the flight. On the second part of the flight it's even better, as we are basically following that jet stream over here all the way over into China, and then beautiful conditions until we make it to North Korea, or South Korea in the better case, where we are going to meet quite a bit of thunderstorms, and this is visible in the weather forecast as well. There are some SIGMATs published for the Incheon FIR, and most importantly, when we look down into the weather forecast, we get this one over here, which is temporary until 0100. We're landing at 055. Wind 210 at 20, gust 35. They're almost a 1.6, so this is a 5-degree angle. So that is quite some crosswind. 1,500 meters visibility in heavy thunderstorm and rain with low-lying clouds in 500 feet as well. That's gonna make it interesting. What makes it even more interesting is our alternate, which is Gimpo, which is literally just a couple miles across the city. And as you can see over here, we have that temporary weather only until 2200, so 3-hour difference for literally just a couple miles, and that's again with thunderstorms and the full blast of exciting stuff. So the big question now is, what are we going to do with this? And I tell you totally honestly, this tells me that the meteorologists over there don't really know what they're doing themselves. So 3 hours difference between, 30 nautical miles or however far apart the two airports are is rather unlikely, and for this reason I am going to change my alternate. Not going to use Gimpo today, but much rather we've got a couple other ones over here. I can't really pronounce them, but we are just going to take either one of them. We can see we've got good weather conditions on Wonju up here, and then the other one, Chongju, or however you pronounce that, actually has very good weather as well. So we are going to use whichever of those two has less fuel requirements. Now, talking about fuel requirements, we are going to get to that in a moment, but we do have a small ETOPS area over China. As we can see, good weather conditions, so no problem. Now for the plan itself, an on-time departure at 1350 means we're going to arrive well ahead of schedule in Incheon, which is something good already, and is of course due to the average tailwind of 61 knots that we already saw on our enroute charts. Now, not critical with any of our weights, starting level 350, finishing in level 410, and now let's go down to the important part, and that is our airports. So first of all, weather was okay on both of those down here, and as we can see, the fuel is not really that much more for either of the two, so we are going to take much more than 1,000 extra, which is the one of those that takes the most fuel. So choosing the alternate, not going to be much of a problem, but we are of course going to deal with it when we actually make it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with our fuel. So by default, we're going to arrive with fuel for 54 minutes in the tanks in heavy thunderstorms. That ain't happening. So Taking 1,000 kilos more means we use 235 more. Flying faster, probably not going to be necessary today, and look at this, you can't really shove off any time there anyway, at the cost of quite a lot of fuel, so we are not going to do that. But what we are going to do is take at least half an hour of extra fuel, in case that weather comes in. Half an hour is 2.5 tons, as you can see over here, and to transport those we need another, well, 600 kilos, something like that. So with that in mind, we've got basically 3,000 on top for the extra fuel. So takeoff fuel now becomes 68 by default, so we've got 71 now, plus the taxi 600. And if we round all of that up, then we can say we're going to take 71.5 tons of fuel for today's flight. Alright, so 71.5 is decided. With that, let's get into the pre-flight preparation. So the engine master levers are off, engine start selector norm, thrust levers idle, landing gear down, wipers off. Let's check the battery voltages. And that is all looking good. Alright then, so batteries, all 4 of them coming on, and the external power is coming online as well. So the airplane is applying power. This might take a little moment. Let's make good use of that time and head over down into our SimBrief imports. Lufthansa 718, here it is, Munich to Incheon. Then we can go forward to the load sheet, also do the SimBrief import over here. We'll take the zero fuel weight as it is, and the fuel is going to become 71,500. Okay, that looks good. So we are going to set the zero fuel weight, we are going to set the fuel and make it an instant refueling, please. And with both of those done, let's head over into the menu once again, AOC. Let's see what we got there. Weather, load sheet. And we'll just take that the way it is. This is from SimBrief. Alright. So, ground menu, do we want GSX to do anything? Yeah, why not? Well, I know why not, because the performance would suffer. So, nope, GSX is not gonna do anything. Let's open those doors, just to get some more realistic indications on our displays. Alright, cool. So, with that our airplane is powered, then let's move up here. ADS 123 is coming online. Let's go downstairs and do the recall for 3 seconds. And there is nothing in here, perfect. Dispatch page not simulated just yet. So back up, fire test is looking good. And it's pretty hot outside today, so I'm going to start the APU. Now fueling is finished, so let's go ahead and turn the signs on as well. And with all of that out of the way, let's move down into the FMS for some preliminaries down here. So, nav database, why are you not showing up to date? Well, luckily we can fix that from right within the simulator. So let's get down to third party and let's set a navigraph already. Update please. So nice that we can do all of this straight on the fly. This is really, really cool. Alright, nav database is downloaded, nav database is installing, and here we go. Nice. So let's just update this, init and back to aircraft status. A350-900, Trent XWB engine, no fuel penalty on this plane, nav database is up to date, no stored elements. Then we can go down into the init page to the company flight plan request. And received, insert. And here we go, the flight plan has uplinked, and that's our, here we go, that's our printout. That's all as expected. Okay, nothing interesting there. But what is more interesting is going down to the ATC com page. We are of course going to use sane tensions today for our ACARS. ADSC is armed. Now let's go to the D-ATIS and just update the weather for all of those. Alright, Munich and print. Actually, tell you what, let's do print all down here. And here's our weather. So, starting with Munich, arriving and departing runway 26 right, 26 left, QNH 1018. Set once, set twice. And with that information at hand, let's go over into the takeoff performance. So, the runway is synchronized. Now let's get the weather to synchronize as well. Weights are looking good. Config 1+F. Air conditioning will be off. Compute. Performance limit 317. We are much below that, so we've got no problems departing under the current weather conditions. That's good. And well, then let's just quickly finish this up. So, terminal charts, Munich, search. And we'll take the APC East as well as the AGC. And then we need the SIDs, and there are far too many of them. So let's just start cross-checking which SID chart we need. 26 left, no, that's not the one. 26 left north, no, we need 26 left south. That looks better. Hopefully this one. Yep, cutie it is. Perfect, so that's the one we're going to take, and pin. Lovely, thanks. Okay, cool. So that's our OAS prepared. Then let's move right back down here. Can clear any of those, and just the message record, all messages. Return to list, and this is just the stuff we just did. So let's just go ahead and erase those. Might have to re-request. No, we actually still have the ATIS, even better. Alright, lovely. So that stuff is done. Our airplane is accepted for service, and then oxygen quantities, or rather oxygen pressure is good, rain repellent is norm. Then let's move down to the hydraulics. Quantities are okay. Engines, for that we need the FADEC. Powering up, 19, that is alright. Cool. So the flaps are up, speed brakes retracted, that agrees with the control positions. So parking brake off, let's hit the brakes and we can see the pressure decrease, that's good. And parking brake set again. And well, it's still in the green, so we don't need to reinflate it, but can do it anyway. Here we go. Lovely. Alright, cool. That's our preliminary cockpit preparation completed. Then we can get straight into the pre-flight procedures. So, evacuation switch on captain, oxygen crew supply on, flight recorder, ground control on, ELT armed, and all the reset switches are in. Now, external lights are set, signs are on, APU and APU bleed, most importantly, are on. Let's also dial that one up a little bit. Refueling is complete, so we can turn on the fuel pumps. We've already completed the fire test, and there are no white lights on the maintenance panel. Now, in the absence of any load sheet or any NOTOC that would require us to use a custom temperature, I'm going to turn the temperature regulation off in the forward hold. CVR test is complete, everything up here is set. So then we're moving down and we cross-check the position of all switches over here, which are all looking good, and that brings us down to the comms. Now, for the comms, let's find our ground chart, which has all the frequencies on it. Down here, delivery 121.73. That's going active, and then we'll have ground most likely 121.83. Okay, looking good. So, number 2, 121.5. Number 3 is set. We want to listen to VHF 1, we want to listen to VHF 2, and we want to listen to the interphone. And the speaker somewhere in the middle position so that it doesn't completely blow our ears out. Lovely. Okay. So you can just have the taxi chart down there. Looks fancy. Alright, lovely. So that's our radio set. The squawk is in. Lovely. In the middle, everything is set. On the right hand side, you can have some VHF as well, interphone as well, and you're gonna get the same, since we would definitely operate a flight like this with 3 pilots. Alright, and that is looking good. So with all of those out of the way, let's get straight into our FMS. So we'll get all that good stuff up. Let's show the flight plan, and then we can start. So, starting on the init page, Lufthansa 718, Munich to Seoul, alternate Jimbo, for the time being, is correct. Flight level 350 is correct. Now, cruise temperature is, let's see, minus 43, and that has correctly uplinked. Nice, and the throttle pause is at 54,000 feet. Alright, good. Cost NX56 is correct. IRS is aligning on the GNSS position, good. Then departure, runway 26 left, and we've got the QD departure today. Here we go, QD 3 Sierra, and insert. Now for the arrival in Seoul, for the time being we plan on runway 16 right. The approach is going to be an ILS approach. Our arrival is the Rabbit to hotel arrival. Here we go. Do we need a VIA? Don't think so. So, tempi and insert. Good. Now let's go to the flight plan page, fix info, and over here we can enter our departure runway, Munich 26 left, and the radial 261 to draw the extended center line, and then we need to add the emergency waypoint. So let's add a new waypoint. We call that one MUK X3, and this is based on Munich 26 left, bearing 261 and distance 25 miles. Store waypoint, back to the flight plan, fix info, next page, and in here we'll insert MUK X3. Nice. So the next thing for us to do over here is to enter the step altitudes, and we do the first step climb at Dinro to flight level 370. So Dinro 370. Next is going to be Amazo, flight level 390. That's entered. Thereafter comes Sarin, which is where we enter Chinese airspace. So that's going to be level 391, as we are now flying in metric airspace. From there we're going to continue towards Delta Kilo Oscar. That's going to be flight level 411. And last but not least, we have Agavo, where we're going to descend to flight level 410 once again. Alright, and that's all our step altitudes. And insert. Good, back to the init page. Now we can also do the company wind request. You always need to enter the step altitudes first, otherwise it may not request the winds for all the correct altitudes. Okay, so winds are entered, then let's go forwards. And we've got the nav aids where nothing is tuned, that's good. Fuel and load. Let's start over here. Zero fuel weight expected is 178.7. Like this. CG is expected at well, we don't know final CG yet, so I'll just enter 25. Block fuel 71.5. We don't have a final passenger number yet, so let's head down to the fuel section. So alternate is 1.9. Then the final reserves are 2.5. And we take a 3% reserve. Taxi 600 is okay, and that gives us 300 kilos extra, 3 minutes. Well, that is going to become more. Let's not worry about that just yet. So, takeoff performance. Let's send our OAS data right to the FMS. And that's a one takeoff, packs off, noise abatement procedure number 2. Engine out acceleration, however, is going to be in 1,500 above the ground. Then position monitor, EGDM 26 left. Return, transition altitude 5000 is checked. Climb page, auto derate is selected. Transition altitude is thrust checked. Okay, then we can head on to the secondary flight plan. Sec 1, copy active, flight plan, insert next waypoint. That's going to be our emergency point, Munich X3, enter. And then we can pick up a holding over there, like this, and I'll just make it a 2-minute lag time. Okay, lovely. So from here on, let's go to new destination, and that's going to be an immediate return to Munich. And over here we can choose our arrivals, runway 26 left with an ILS approach, and that's everything entered. Lovely. So that's our flight plan pretty much complete as far as I can remember. Only thing we could do is the route summary, but I tell you honestly, copy active. Now we should go over everything that we have in here to make sure that there are no discontinuities and stuff, but this is actually looking quite good, so I'm just going to take it like that. Alright, cancel and thank you. Alright, performance page on this side, flight plan page on that side. In the meantime, surveillance, weather radar is off, transponder is on standby, good. So, it has printed something. I think that's our takeoff performance data. Yes, it is. Okay, that looks quite good. Can you actually bring those back somehow? Huh, okay. So be it. Okay, cool. So we have entered everything. Now let's go up here. So you're gonna plan and you can get me the ANF. And while we're waiting for that, let's go down here onto ATC.com. That's information Charlie that we've got down here. And let's go to request, clearance, departure. So, we'll be sent to Munich. We're at gate 222. And the ATIS is Charlie. Okay, that looks good. So transfer that to the mailbox. Request pre-departure clearance Lufthansa 718 A350-900 to Seoul at Munich stand 222 ATIS Charlie. Looks good. Send. And here we go. Lovely. Okay, cool. So with that, we have pretty much completed everything that we needed to do down here. So let's actually start with the briefing while we're waiting for the clearance to arrive. Okay, being processed, standby. Roger. So we're departing Munich 26 left, Kierdi 30 departure. Initial to 70 and the MSA is 3800.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Extra fuel and time, let's see.
We kindly ask you to take your seats
300 kilos, 3 minutes.
and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please do not.
Alright, thank you for that. No hotspots for our taxi routing, and we've got a stop margin of probably not much, couple meters maybe. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles, pick up the holding in 4,000 feet, that's safe above the MSA. We can climb to 5,000 as well if ATC wants us to. If you need to return, runway 26 left is programmed. We are above the maximum landing weight by about 40 and a bit tons, so we just have to consider, do we want to do, or do we want to make an immediate return? Basically, I only want to do that in case of an uncontrollable fire and stuff where the airplane safety is in severe jeopardy. Apart from that, pick up the hold, work the procedures, and that's it. Now, once we are done with that, We've got no specials, we got nothing non-standard. There is one thing worth mentioning, that's our green dot, which is 219, and we do have a 210 knot restriction on Delta Mike 050, which is the first turn, as we can see over here, so we'll have to keep the flaps extended for a little bit. And that's it. Do you have any questions, comments, or suggestions? No? Lovely. So that's our briefing completed. In the meantime, here's our clearance. Let's answer that one. Will go and send. So print. So let's see what we got. Cleared to Seoul, QD3 Sierra departure. And QD3 Sierra is confirmed. Okay, maintain 7000. Set. Departure on 118.83. Pre-selected. And squawk. Oh, it would be lovely if you could read that. Here we go, 6415. Okay, lovely. So that's our clearance cross-checked. And then let's go for the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers, removed. Fuel quantity. And that's 71,400 kilograms balanced. Barrel reference, QNH 1018. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Then let's say hello to our guests. Liebe Fluggäste, einen schönen guten Nachmittag aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der Lufthansa darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unseres A350 auf unserem gemeinsamen Flug nach Seoul begrüßen. Flugzeit heute etwa 10 Stunden, 10 Minuten in einem weitestgehend ruhigen Flug. Wir bedanken uns, dass Sie unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen den Flug mit uns. Wir melden uns dann im Anflug auf Seoul mit den neuesten Wetterinformationen bei Ihnen. Vielen Dank und machen Sie es sich bei uns an Bord bequem. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of Lufthansa, welcome aboard our Airbus A350 on our flight to Seoul. Today's flight time will be about 10 hours and 10 minutes, expecting a mostly smooth flight. Make yourself comfortable, sit back, enjoy the flight, enjoy the night, and we will get back to you with the latest weather when we start our approach to Seoul. Thank you very much for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight with us. Ground from flight deck. Yeah, go ahead. Please confirm all doors and hatches. Or actually, how is the boarding going? Yeah, it's finished. Okay, thanks. So, close all. APU is operating, so ground power can go. And the parking brake is set, so we can disconnect the chocks as well. So, the yellow ILEC hydraulic pump memo is on. That advises us that the doors are being operated. So they're closing down there. Then let's call ground and get ourselves a pushback clearance. And before we do that, let's see the load sheet. So for that, I'm just going to go up here into the AOC menu. Not sure why those are blinking, we already saw those. But here we go, load sheet. Even though that's not updated, that fuel is still the old stuff. It would be very nice if they actually sent us an up-to-date one. Yeah, that's just the SimBrief load sheet. Okay. Alright, cool. So we are going to use the data from down here. Zero fuel weight 178.7. And that is correct, and the CG is 30.8. So, passengers on board 285.
Lufthansa 75 Hotel, taxi to runway 26 right, via Whiskey 2,
November
that is 3 by November.
Good.
26 right,
Lovely.
via Whiskey 2, November 3,
Then let's
November,
get going.
Lufthansa 75 Hotel.
Mission ground, Lufthansa 718 Heavy, request pushback and startup.
Lufthansa 718 service, pushback and startup approved, face south.
Pushback and startup approved, facing south, Lufthansa 718. Okay, so one left is closing, beacon on, transponder on. Alright, before start checklist. So, park and brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 155, VR 157, E2 162, flex 49. Slides, armed, nose steering disconnect memo. It's not here just yet. Okay, reset that. So we're waiting for the memo. Okay, one open item. While we're doing that, just a quick check. Have we actually updated the takeoff weight? Synchronize that. 246.5 and 249.5. We've not updated it. Okay.
Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha ready for pushback.
Let's just do 250.
Lufthansa 7 Yankee from Alpha, pushback
Alright, that
approved.
should be better. Compute
Pushback approved.
and send to
Lufthansa
FMS.
7 Yankee Alpha.
Yeah, slightly higher speeds confirmed. Alright, and we can take the printout, put it over here, just in case we get an FMS failure or something. And we always have that data available over here. Lovely.
Lufthansa
Okay,
03 Hotel
so
ready for
nose steering
pushback.
disconnect memo is checked. Before start, checklist
Hotel,
complete.
pushback approved.
Pushback approved. Lufthansa 03 Hotel.
So they're at work. Over here everything's done. They're lifting us. Very good, so we should be ready to push in any moment now. Okay, G6, here we go. Continue pushback, and it was approved facing south. On to Whiskey 2.
Lufthansa
South correct?
75 Hotel,
Yes.
contact tower on 1, 2,
Okay,
1,
good.
decimal 3, 0, 5.
Run from flight deck. Go ahead. So, the pushback is approved facing south, and the park and brake is released.
Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha
Thank
ready
you.
to
Clear
taxi.
to push and stand by French at start.
Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha,
Roger.
taxi to runway 26 left via E3
So, we
orange,
don't need the
D3
table
blue,
anymore.
Echo 2, Sierra 8, Sierra.
And starting.
26 left via
Good.
E3 orange, D3 blue, Echo 2, Sierra 8.
So, which one do you like
Sierra
better?
Lufthansa
The
7
Lido
Yankee
ground
Alpha.
chart or the Jefferson ground chart?
Lufthansa to Charlie.
Put it in the comments below.
On
Really interested in that.
1.1.8 decimal 6.
All doors in flight and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Lufthansa Flight 718, departing from München to Incheon. My name is Mara Meyer, and on
Okay,
behalf
ground,
of
we're ready to
Lufthansa,
start the
I would
engines
like
in
to
sequence
introduce
1
our
and 2.
captain,
Beeline 9 Bravo
and
Papa,
our
request
first
pushback.
officer, Stefan. Joining me in the cabin
Beeline
today
9
are
Bravo
wonderful
Papa,
colleagues,
cleared for
Emma,
push and start.
Leah, and Jonas. We are delighted to
Pushback
have
approved.
you, Mr.
Beeline 9 Bravo
Now,
Papa.
let's go through some important safety information. Please
And we're
ensure
approaching 10
your
seconds,
seatbelt
starting
is
engine 1.
across your lap.
Clear 1.
To fasten,
Lufthansa 03 Hotel ready to taxi.
hear a click. To unfasten,
Lufthansa 03 Hotel, taxi to runway 26 right via D3 orange, Echo 2, November 4 November.
to use the mask,
26 right via D3 Orange Echo 2 November 4 November Lufthansa 03 Hotel.
remember to secure your own mask.
Tango request pushback.
We also have life vests.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango, cleared for push and start.
Vests to pull out of the pouch.
Pushback approved. Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango.
Inflate the vest and tabs.
Oh yeah, that engine just ignited. You can absolutely hear that.
Taxi to parking via Alpha 4, November 1, Whiskey 1, Sierra 5, Sierra 3, Romeo.
Alpha 4 November 1 Whiskey 1 Sierra 5 Sierra 3 Romeo City Air 1823.
We expect a flight
Lufthansa 9er X-Ray, Victor contact tower on 136.
Okay, we've got a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2.
Please ensure
Clear
that
to.
your seatbelts
Switching to
and
tower,
tables
Lufthansa
are
9er X-ray
in position
Victor.
and all carry-on luggage is stowed.
Beeline 9 Bravo Papa ready to
And the pushback
taxi.
is complete, set park and brake.
Beeline 9 Bravo Papa, taxi to runway 26
Brake
left
set.
via E3 blue, D3 orange, Echo 2, Sierra 8, Sierra.
26 left via E3 blue,
So,
D3
number
orange,
2 start is in
Echo
progress.
2, Sierra 8, Sierra Beeline 9 Bravo Papa.
It's interesting how early the start valve closes over here, isn't it? But apparently the figures are correct. I did cross-check that with real-life instructor on the airplane. Okay, ground, we've got 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect, show me the pin and the clear signal on the right hand side, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango, taxi to runway 26 right, via Echo 2, November 4, November.
26 right via Echo 2, November 4, November Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango.
Alright. Clear signal, there she is, holding the pin, and clear signal is received. Wonderful, lovely. So, flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral after start checklist. Anti-ice off. Flight controls checked. Ground clearance received. After start checklist complete. Lufthansa 718 request taxi.
Lufthansa 718, service. Taxi to runway 26 left via Whiskey 2, Sierra 7, Sierra, Bravo 14.
Lufthansa 718, taxi runway 26 left via Whiskey 2, Sierra 7, Sierra, Bravo 14. Okay, so Whiskey 2, Sierra 7, Sierra, Bravo 14. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Let's go. And I just noticed it's reset my controls again.
Lufthansa 8 Alpha Echo contact tower.
Quickly go down here, throttle
118,
calibration. And this is
Switching to
idle.
tower, Lufthansa 8 Alpha Echo.
Alright, that's much better. So, brake check. Brakes okay? So, there is one company A321 over there, then we got the A310. Who's flying A310s these days? And then the Beeline. So probably number 3, there is one more at the holding point right now. That's fine. So probably number 4 for the departure. As long as there is no surprise coming from the right hand side, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, clear right side. So it looks like the A321 is holding for us.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango contact tower on 118.705 to start.
Okay, so let's see about the cabin.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango.
Here we go. Auto brake RTO and takeoff config. Normal. And I have no changes to the takeoff briefing. Taxi checklist, please. Flap setting. Config 1 plus F. Radar on. Econ memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Okay, so the A310, really wonder which airline that is. I hope we are gonna hear it in a few moments when he gets his handoff to the tower.
Beeline 9 Bravo Papa, contact tower on 118.705.
Switching to tower Beeline 9 Bravo Papa.
Okay, that's pre-selected for us.
Contact 25, taxi to parking via Alpha 4, November 1, W1 Blue.
Alpha 4,
So,
November
the
1,
Beeline just got
W1
handed
Blue,
over to the
Delta
tower.
Zero.
That means the A310 has probably been there
Lufthansa
already.
03 Hotel,
So we're
contact
probably not
tower
going to learn
on
who that would have been.
118.075.
Alright, so the Beeline is
Lufthansa 03 Hotel.
far forward enough that we can taxi behind him without clipping the wing into his tail. And Bravo 14 is next to the right.
Ready for push and start.
City Air for Mike X-ray, pushback approved.
Push and start. City Air for Mike X-ray.
City Air, isn't that Lufthansa City Airlines? Okay, the approach looks pretty clear, so hopefully once he's departed...
Lufthansa 718, contact tower on 118.705, safe flight.
118.705, Lufthansa 718, bye-bye. Windy Tower, Lufthansa 718 Heavy, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 718 Heavy, Munich Tower, runway 26 left, hold short. You're number 1 behind the A310.
Holding short 26 left, Lufthansa 718. Okay, so the A310 is already in the air. We will need a little bit of wake turbulence separation, of course, but we should get our takeoff clearance any moment, I think. He could already line us up, that would make things a little bit easier.
Lufthansa 75 Hotel, contact departure.
Lufthansa. Interesting.
75 Hotel.
Alright, inbound is 5 miles out. That should be absolutely fine for us to go. Oh, unless the Beeline goes first. Okay, so then it's Beeline, then the landing, and then us. Alright. We can work with that. Now this is something that I do like quite a lot about the traffic ingestion here. In Flight Simulator, if you're not flying online, you're typically always number 1. But in the real world, that just isn't the case.
Skynight 308, winds calm, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Ooh, with the Beeline still on the runway, that's not good.
Cleared to land, runway 26 left.
Where is he?
Skynight 308.
Can't really see the Skynight yet. But okay, he's still 2 miles out. So we are probably gonna go after him. At least that's my assumption here.
München Tower, Lufthansa 2 Victor Victor, established on the RNAV, runway 26 right.
Lufthansa 2 Victor Victor, roger.
2 Victor Victor, I've heard that call sign before. It's pretty cool that Sane Tension actually uses the real-world call signs. I'm not 100% sure where they get that data from, I mean, I know where I get it from to plan my flights. I get it from Flight Radar 24, but I would imagine that they're probably using something different there.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 26 left. Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha.
Beeline in einer Bravo Papa. Contact departure.
Alright.
Over to departure. Beeline 9er Bravo Papa.
And they're taking another company in front of us. Alright, that guy's down.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango. Holding short runway 26 right. Ready for departure.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango. Winds calm. Runway 26 right. Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff.
So, let's see how the AI is going to do that. If this gentleman starts his takeoff run before this gentleman is actually off the runway. I have a feeling that might happen. Or is he just taxiing to his destination? No, he's rolling. And the other guy is still up. Oh, let's see if that's gonna... Let's see if those are gonna crash. Lufthansa 718 ready for departure. Ooh, he was airborne early. Must be a domestic flight or something.
Lufthansa 718, runway 26 left, hold short, A320 on the runway.
Holding short 26 left, Lufthansa 718.
Skynight 308, contact ground on 121.83.
Alright, he's vacated. That was the Skynight who landed earlier. This time there is nothing on the approach, so now it should be our turn. Or at least that's what I'd be hoping. Come on, man, vacate that runway.
Lufthansa 718. Heavy, runway 26 left. Winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Lufthansa 718 heavy, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff. Okay. Come to prepare for departure.
Lufthansa 718. Heavy, runway 26 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Lufthansa 718 heavy, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff. Said that before, my friend. Okay, lineup checklist. Cabin secured. Takeoff runway 26 left,
5
full
Uniform
length.
Tango,
Pax
contact
1 and 2.
departure.
Off.
Over to departure, Lufthansa 5 Uniform
Lineup
Tango.
checklist complete. Alright, are you happy with the rolling takeoff? Takeoff. And flex 44, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. knots.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. You're up. Nav. Check. Wow, that pitch up just came pretty sudden.
Lufthansa 718. Contact
First decline,
departure
climb
on
out of thrust.
118.83.
118.83, Lufthansa 718. Radar Lufthansa 718 Heavy passing 3000, climbing level 70.
Lufthansa 718, heavy München departure identified.
Okay, no further climb just yet. Okay, passing 050.
718, heavy München departure, climb flight level 210.
Lufthansa 718 Heavy, climb flight level 210. $21,000 blue, flap 0. Speed checked. Flap 0. Okay, autopilot 1. As you can see, guys, there isn't really a lot of talking going on a departure like this. That's for the very simple fact that we are meant to focus on flying the airplane. And normally it's sterile cockpit all the way until 10,000, so it somewhat hurts the aviator soul when you constantly have to talk on the videos. Okay, so that's done that. Standard cross check, passing flight level 5-1. Now, checked. Acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoil is rejected, landing gear up, and packs on. Acceleration flow pattern is complete. Alright, approaching and passing the Ottersberg. Can you actually see any mountain down there? Not really. Can we see the VOR? Where it's supposed to be? Just off our left?
Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha, contact Munich radar
No,
on
I can't make out the VOR anywhere.
Over to Munich radar
Alright,
on
that's
136.23. Lufthansa 7 Yankee Alpha.
Okay, cool. So we're up in the air.
Lufthansa 3
Let's
Echo, flight level
start with the most
150.
important check of all.
Lufthansa 718,
Arriving
climb flight
0014,
level
the schedule is
240.
at 50. Perfect, we're on time.
Brussels approach, beeline 9
6.9
Bravo Papa,
tons.
flight level 140.
That's 2.5 extra, half an hour.
Beeline Bravo
That's
Papa, radar
much
contact.
better already.
Turkish 4 X-ray kilo contact.
Now,
Munich
let's
radar
go ahead
on 129
and change the
555.
alternate fuel. And the
Switching to
further
Munich
one
radar on
needs 913 more, so
129.555 Turkish 4
2.8.
X-ray kilo.
Okay, leaving us with 1.6 tons, 18 minutes extra. That's good. Okay, lovely. So, optional 346, so the cruise level is chosen pretty well. Engine out 207, so level 200 for the engine out.
Beeline 9
Initially.
Bravo Papa, direct Florent.
Only when we
Clear
get
for
to the
runway
mountains later on.
5 right
Then things are
approach.
going to get a little bit
Descend
more
and maintain
spicy.
flight
Might
level
have
060
to
until established.
recheck the engine out.
Down to
Maximum level.
6,000. Cleared for the RNAV runway
Not for the
25
time
right
being, this
approach,
is all
beeline 9
good.
Bravo Papa.
Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango, contact Munich radar on 136.223.
Over to Munich radar on 136.234, Lufthansa 5 Uniform Tango.
Bingo radar, Lufthansa 3 Echo, flight level 110.
Did he just call him Bingo Radar?
Lufthansa 3 Echo radar contact.
I mean, I do like to play bullshit bingo, especially with animal voices you can possibly hear on guard frequency.
Tower on 118.605.
But, you know, that is nothing that you should do, like, with too much enthusiasm.
Beeline 9 Bravo Papa.
Lufthansa 718, any speed restriction?
23 X-ray uniform, contact Vienna radar.
I want to get rid of that 250 restriction over Maybach over there. So, lights off, signs off, EFIS.
No speed restriction.
No speed restriction, Lufthansa 718.
Guests, we are
Lufthansa
released
718.
Okay, so
Climb
do we
flight
speed
level
concentrate?
280.
is now allowed. You may
Thank
now
you.
switch on your devices and enjoy our onboard Wi-Fi.
And now we're
service.
accelerating.
Thank you for
Good.
your attention, and
718
welcome to
confirmed
flight.
restriction left on 800.
Lufthansa 718, yeah, speed restriction cancelled. That is copied. Okay, good.
Switching to Vienna
So with that, we're
radar
up and in the air,
126.28,
on the way.
Tomjet 5355.
Nothing hard-tuned. We already talked about the performance. I'm going to keep the climb derate for the time being, and then we can log on to CPDLC. So that's going to be connect to... What is it down here? Probably going to be Austria up next. And that's... Man, I haven't...
Lufthansa 3 Echo
flown
contact
there in a
tower
while.
on 118.705.
Over to Munich Tower on
Of course it just won't
118.705.
tell me what it is.
Lufthansa 3 Echo.
Suntur 5307, contact Munich
Oh, well,
radar
that's fine.
on 136.
Actually, I tell you what,
3.
can we see it down here?
Over to Munich radar
Escape.
on 136.23T, sun turn
Alright.
5307.
That's fine. Then I'm just going to send it to Rhein and they will forward
Alpha
us.
Yankee contact Munich radar on 129.45.
Alright, notify.
Over to Munich radar on 129.45.
Good,
Alpine
and with
83
that we
Alpha
are all
Yankee.
set for our flight, so for the time being, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip with us.
132.305.
Switching to Munich departure on 132 decimal.
Good morning everyone, I do hope you had a pleasant night aboard our Airbus. Now we are about starting our approach into Seoul and well, there is a little ecam message over here that we should have a look into. And that's the anti-ice detectors. Engine 1 anti-ice on, anti-ice, engine 1 on, and engine 2 anti-ice on.
Contacting Seoul approach on 119.05, Lufthansa 718.
And it's just cleared itself and now it says ice not detected. Okay, so just turn them off again. Outside temperature is plus 19 degrees, so I would, or plus 23 by now, I would kind of expect that we don't have any problems with that anyway.
Seoul approach, Lufthansa 718, warning descending through flight level 150.
Lufthansa 718, heavy Seoul approach identified. Good morning. Expect the ILS runway 16 right approach into Incheon via Munich.
Expect the ILS runway 16 right approach via Munich. Lufthansa 718 heavy.
Okay, so ILS 16 right, that's the one that we had planned already. Now, first of all, set QNH
Lufthansa 718, descend altitude 1600. Airpeach 701, direct ITM, cleared for the ILS Zulu runway 15 left approach. Descend and maintain altitude 3500 until established.
Descending
Okay,
to 1600, Lufthansa 718.
1600, okay.
Asiana 967, contact Shanghai control
Set,
on 123.7.
but I guess it comes here from Munich, between 2 and 1600. So it does kind of make sense. Lufthansa 768. Nope, that's the wrong call sign. Lufthansa 718, request to proceed direct Munich. They don't seem to have any traffic over here, so we can always give it a try. Speed.
Lufthansa 718, proceed direct to Munam, approved.
Okay, direct to Munich approved. That's lovely. Direct to Munich approved, Lufthansa 718. So, a little bit above the profile, let's help it somewhat. And then we're going through 10,000, so lights on, signs on, EFIS, LS is on.
Cabin is ready.
Okay, thanks. Please take your seats now already. It might be a little bit
Ladies
turbulent
and
on
gentlemen,
approach.
we are now on our final approach into Incheon.
Cool.
Please turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we've arrived at the gate. We kindly ask you to put your tray tables
Okay,
away
so all
and
that
ensure
lovely
the
stuff
seats
is
are
now
in
done.
full
Let's have a
upright
very quick look into the weather because this is a bit of an interesting one. Looking outside, we clearly don't have the best weather conditions.
Thank you.
But
for your
looking
cooperation.
at the ATIS, let's, by the way, update that real quick. Looking at the ATIS, it should be 230 at 6, visibility 10, well broken 800, 27 degrees 1015. Okay, that's all set now.
Asiana 967, contact Guangzhou control on 133.475.
Alright, cool. So that much about our...
Asiana 967.
That much about the approach preparation. Now let's go for the briefing, please, because there will be a couple items that we have to talk about.
Cleared for the ILS runway 16 right approach, Munan transition.
Direct Munan. Cleared ILS runway 16 right approach, Munan transition. Lufthansa 718.
Okay, so for the briefing, MSA 2300 in the approach sector, we're going to fly the ILS approach 16 right via Munich with a minimum of 230 feet. The go-around is with a right turn out towards 2000 feet and extra fuel and time. This is where it gets interesting now, because as you guys have surely seen, our airplane just decided to do an orbit in flight, and for some reason the automatic step climbs did not work either. All of which did burn quite a bit of extra fuel. So what I've done is this. Committed to land at destination because while the weather isn't perfect, it is absolutely okay, as you just saw on the Met report, and therefore we could remove the alternate fuel. And I did increase the final reserve to 45 minutes, since I would say, yeah, we can say that threats do exist at the destination due to the weather over here. Now, for this reason, we end up with 900 kilos, 10 minutes extra, but that's already committed to destination. Okay, and that's that. Now, for the approach we are going to use the flight directors config full, and we are going to land on runway 16 right. Idle reverse, BTV is on, vacate the runway on the last rapid exit taxiway and then taxi to the terminal. No hotspots for taxi routing, but we are fairly unfamiliar with the airport since I really don't fly here all too often. And I think that's pretty much it. Threats for the arrival? Well, with that weather, especially that little piece of red that we just saw on the radar, let's just make it a bit bigger. With that nearby, wind shear is theoretically an option. I'll just brief it, even though I don't expect it, because otherwise I would legally not be committed to land at the airport. And I really don't want to mess the flight up because the airplane decided it needs to do an orbit in flight. So yeah, wind shear escape maneuver, if we are forced to use it, would be thrust levers toga. If the autopilot disengaged, we keep it engaged. If not, then we are going to take over manually. If we need to take over manually, pitch 15, flight directors, and let's go reset by the way.
Lufthansa 718, contact engine tower on 118.2.
So yeah, pitch 15, thereafter flight directors, don't change configuration, ensure speed brake retracted.
Switching to Incheon
And that's
Tower
it. Any
on
questions?
118.2. Lufthansa
Nope.
718.
Lovely. So, cleared for the ILS. Land 3 dual, autopilot 12. Glide slope and localizer blue. And approach checklist, please.
2,500.
Checked. Lock star. So, barrel ref, QNH 1015, minimum, barrel 230, runway
Lufthansa
condition,
718
wet,
warning. We're
auto
established on
brake,
the ILS
BTV,
approach for runway
checklist
16
complete.
right.
Lufthansa 718, heavy, Incheon Tower, roger.
Flaps 1.
Lufthansa 718,
Speed check.
heavy, Incheon Tower, winds 230
2,000.
at 6, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Runway 16 right, clear to land. Lufthansa 718 heavy.
Okay, tell you what, that was a stupid idea to set the go-around altitude before the glide slope mode has captured. Alright, our speed is nice and slow. As soon as we capture the glide, I am going to extend the landing gear and conf 2. Glide slope star. Go-around altitude 2000 set, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2. Gear down. Glide slope. Flaps 3. Speed check, flap 3. And flaps full. Speed check, flaps full. Landing checklist, Mika memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. And come on, cabin, why are you not ready? Here we go. Okay, good. Everything's done. The runway is in sight on the 12 o'clock.
$1,000.
Checked and we're stabilized. Okay, so looking good so far. The bad weather's on the left side where it's not going to bother us. Then let's go. Land 3 single. Approach 1.
Asiana 721, hold short,
500.
runway 15 right.
400.
Short, 15 right.
Asiana 721.
Okay, down here it tells us that we didn't do any gross navigation error.
100 above.
Checked.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Attention all aircraft, information whiskey is now current. QNH 1015.
Oh, it's an interesting touchdown sound. I thought I bounced, but looks like I didn't. Spotters, reverse green, BTB. Knots. Okay, manual brakes. All right.
Welcome to Incheon. Contact ground on 121.925.
One to 1.925, Lufthansa 718.
Switching to...
Incheon ground, Lufthansa 718, request taxi to gate 48.
On ground. Lufthansa.
No. I've done that already, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Incheon. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us today.
Incheon ground, Lufthansa 718, request taxi to gate 48.
Also, the city is known for its beautiful
Lufthansa 718, Incheon ground, taxi to parking via Papa 4, Papa, Tango, cross runway 34 right, then November Mike 9er, Romeo 4. Have a good day.
Taxi parking, Papa 4, Papa, Tango, November, Mike, Nana, Romeo 4, Lufthansa 718.
Flight LH
Lufthansa 718, taxi to terminal 1 gate 8 via Papa 4, Papa, Tango.
Jake departs at 10:15
Yeah,
from gate 50.
you've said that already. So straight ahead, we vacated onto Papa 4, then Papa, Tango. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get off that runway first. Okay, spoilers coming in, flaps up, lights set.
Asiana 102, ready for push and start.
Asiana 102, cleared for push and start.
Pushback approved, Asiana 102.
Okay, so next is Tango, thereafter November, that's the first to the right. And then
Singapore 607, pushback approved.
Okay, to the left over here, Romeo 4 to the gate.
Pushback and start
Okay,
approved.
we can do
Singapore
that.
607.
Air Premier 731, contact tower on 118.2.
Switching to tower, Air Premier 731.
Okay, we were clear to cross 34 right, he said that earlier. Strobes
J2
coming
Air
on.
1303, taxi to runway 15 right via Alpha Sierra, Romeo 2, Romeo 8, Alpha 8, Alpha Alpha 18.
15 right via Alpha Sierra, Romeo 2, Romeo 8,
And we're
Alpha
clear
8,
on the left
Alpha,
side,
Alpha 18,
clear on the
J2
right
Air
side.
1303.
Clear to cross. Okay,
Asiana
GSX.
102, ready to taxi.
Asiana
Good taxi
102,
lights
taxi
here.
to runway 15 right via
Oh
Romeo
God,
4,
I hate
Romeo
it when
17,
developers
Alpha
do
Alpha
this.
18.
Just like I hate it when GSX
15
doesn't
right
remove
via
that
Romeo 4,
remote
Romeo
control
17,
notice.
Alpha Alpha 18, Asiana 102.
So, parking, gates. 48. And that is definitely not too small, because that's where the real flight parked.
Singapore 607, taxi to runway 15 left via Romeo 9er, Alpha 9er, Alpha, Alpha 1 9er, cross runway 15 right, then Lima.
15 left via Romeo 9er, Alpha 9er, Alpha, Alpha 1 9er, cross runway 15 right, then Lima,
Okay,
Singapore
no follow me needed.
607.
Handling by...
China Eastern 5052, contact
I
tower
don't
on
know,
118.2.
services. I don't care. That's
Switching
fine.
to tower, China Eastern 5052.
So, there's no after landing checklist on this airplane, is there? Nope. Okay. Okay, so second taxiway to the left. And for some reason there's static aircraft on my gate. Let's see if they're from sane tensions or if they're from FS traffic. We'll just go FS traffic, remove traffic. I want to try something here. Ground Lufthansa 718. Can you remove the static aircraft from gate 48?
Lufthansa 718, contact apron on 119.99 for assistance with removing static aircraft from gate 48.
Oh, interesting.
Easter 611 ready for push and start.
So tell you what, we'll just
Easter
stop here for a
611, push and start
second.
approved.
Pushback and start approved. Easter 6
1999. Apron Lufthansa 718, please remove the static aircraft from gate 48. So, start APU.
I didn't copy that. Say again.
Please remove the aircraft from gate 48.
I didn't copy that. Say again.
Oh god, okay. In that case, I'll just shut it down in the background so that we can have our gate, because I want to park on the one where the real flight parked, and that happens to be 48. Alright, so next gate on our left hand side. Services seem to be there already. 48 is confirmed on the writing there as well. Okay, so guidance system is inoperative by the looks of it. And we'll have to park ourselves. And this should do. So let's stop it here. That's fine. Parking brake set, APU avail, bleed on, and off we go. 1, 2. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, trucks are disarmed, engines are off, beacon, seatbelts. Okay, parking checklist please. Park and brake our trucks. Brake set. Wing lights. Off. Parking checklist complete. Now the interesting question. What about our brake temperature? Yeah, 250. That's quite realistic. That is quite realistic indeed. Okay, happy with that. So, let's go ahead and turn off that transponder. So, transponders on standby. Fuel usage, let's have a very quick look. 67 tons. And we are supposed to use 61 plus taxi is 62.5. Yeah. No surprises. You use more fuel when you don't step climb and when you do an orbit in flight. That is expected. At least we are still early. Schedule would have been in half an hour. So that's the good thing. And I guess with that out of the way, we can say thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed the flight. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath. And as always, if you did like the video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.